track of time, don't know how to feel, but I'm not sorry. I'm lost in your eyes, are you even real? But don't you worry, I'm not looking for the one. No, I just wanna have some fun. So let's get drunk tonight, 'cause fuck how we feel. But for now, I won't give it all away, 'cause I don't think I'll stay. No, I
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another Xscal live stream. A little bit different in this stream today. We've done a couple of these before, and it is literally what it says on the tin, what it says on the title. It is review your replays. Now, I'm only going to do this for about an hour because I am casting a 2v2 challenge later, which is going to be Crazy Ammo against Google Humanity, and I don't have a stream delay on this stream. So if you want to ask any questions as we get into the replays, I'll try and keep my eye on chat and we can answer them. Hence the Q&A bit with the review your replays. So without further ado, let's get into the replays. I'm actually looking for... What am I looking for here? I'm looking for Wraith's first replay. There it is. Okay, welcome everyone. Hello, hello. So, we got a replay to review here. So in the bottom it is Wraith with the Vanilla GLA, and in the top we have SW Teeny with the tank. Now I was actually observing this game, and I wanted to give Wraith a couple of comments here because I saw some improvements, but there were some things I thought he could do better as well. So we're going to kick off with this game. Hottest Chili says, question number 1, why are you unbeatable? Okay, so let's have a look at this from Wraith's point of view.
I will work.
So if I'm being super picky, the supply placement there was a little bit off. Hello, Leo. Welcome, welcome. But so far, everything's standard. Oh, okay, yeah, that supply is fine as well. Yeah, you can see this supply is not optimal, but he's going for a box. Now I would say, do you need a box against tank? I mean, it's good if you're practicing boxing, that's absolutely fine. But, you know, do you need to box is my question here. Chat says, can we have Spalding as well? I'll send him a message and let's see if he is around. Doing a replay review stream. Let me know if you want to join. Okay. Let's get back to this point of view. So as I say, I watched this live. Now, so far, Wraith has not seen anything, but he's getting decent map control. Tunnel on the left, tunnel on the right, and a worker up the middle.
I am finished with the building.
Now, something I think separates in this particular matchup GLA against any China. Something that separates the so-called top 8 compared to other players is how much work they get done with their first tech. So we will be having a look at that. Wraith now knows there is a proxy war factory on the right, and I think a response of that should be, and he's doing this now, going to the main base and trying to do some economical damage. Gets the Scorp rallied for the units coming in.
A warrior has fallen.
So even this, if I go on the full vision, he's delaying a bit with that tech. Just get it in there. Yeah, and that as well. So, I mean, you've got to preempt. If China's going so aggressive like this, the one thing they can do at home, especially tank because it's so slow, is just put mines on the supply. So just get into the habit of not chasing the trucks. Just literally leave the RPGs there. Damage the trucks. If the trucks run away, that's fine. You're damaging the mining. Then go and kill the other trucks as well. So if that hadn't have died, I actually think this would be over and Wraith would win. But obviously that was a bit of a fail. Is making Scorps. The big base going on over here to 2 war factories being dropped. Sneaky flamer coming in. Now, everyone can miss a flamer, but he did get burnt down by that flamer. So yeah, he is now aware, and he does do a nice force fire on the ground. Now here, even though his first tech failed, I think he should be making another one. Like, make another one, go round the back, and do some harassment. Or even, like, rally a couple of Scorps in there. You need to punish Tank's immobility. Answer to Saeed. Spalding will be joining in a couple of minutes. So there you go. Knight says, ouch my eyes. Yeah, this game goes on a long time actually, so we can fast forward bits. So here I'm questioning, it's nice to get a couple of rockets off, but why fight here? Why not literally pop here and get into the tank's base? This is an improvement, by the way. I meant to tell you this after the game, Wraith, or maybe I did actually. But I thought you were expanding better, and you're getting an oil as well. So that already looks better. It's just a choice on where you're actually engaging. I mean, you need, of course, 1 or 2 Scorps at home and just tunnel spam to deal with the flamers. But you could be doing so much damage here on this main base, and I just think you play way too passive. Like, even this, like, why are you even fighting this? We'll fast forward a bit here. Purple is rallying a few random units in here as well. Wraith just about manages to hold. But, like, right now, when you see that army, just start dropping some tunnels. Like, what's Tank gonna do? And because of your lack of tunnels, you are now under a bit of pressure. Tank is actually pushing in. Again, all game, there's been one gap here, so like, how does he deal with a couple of Scorps? Just about holding on. I like this as well. Just doing your best at trying to survive, rallying terrorists, rallying anything to help you out there. Let me just pause this game. It seems Spalding is ready. Okay, Spalding is here. I'll give him a quick call and share my screen. And we shall have the Spalding review as well. Hello, hello. Hello.
Wait, can you hear me?
Ah, I can now. There you are.
Perfect.
And I've just shared my stream as well. There's like no stream delay, so chat can basically ask questions as well along the way. I'm only into the first replay here, which is
Okay,
already getting pretty
chat as
dicey.
well.
Can you see my screen?
I can, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so basically what's happened here, it's Wraith against Rengo, and
Okay.
Rengo went for a very forward war factory rush on blasted lands, and the biggest thing for me was Wraith's response, not going behind the base to deal damage with tech harass, and or later on Scorps. So literally the whole game there's just been one gat defending the main base, and he's actually been trying to fight Tank head on.
Okay, so I assume you wanted him to counter-attack more, right?
Totally, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, against Tank, I think in particular, I mean, if Tank's going to supply and war factories at the back, then sure, it's a little bit more difficult, but if, like on a map like this, if Tank's production is here, I mean, look at this. There's literally nothing there.
Sure.
Someone says Spalding isn't loud enough.
Oh,
You do
maybe
sound
you
a bit
can
quiet.
turn me up a little bit.
Okay, let's see. See if I can. I've
Google
got.
says,
I'll put
tell
you.
us about the 101 of GLA play by XCar.
Okay, I've shared screen again and I've turned you up 10%.
Okay.
Okay, sounds better. But I was just saying to chat, I was observing this game, and actually Wraith still could have won because of GLA cash bounty. So this game actually goes on quite a while, even though the tank has kicked Wraith off the main supply. The tank as well forgets to take this oil like the whole game. So it's a bit of a comedy of errors. Okay, someone,
okay.
I have a name. Sorry, Daniel. Yeah, sorry, Daniel. I've got about 16 replays, guys, all ready to go through. So, Tyler says, how can I send you a replay? Just throw it in my Discord if you like, and when I do another one of these, we can add it to the list.
Okay. Bit of a weird artillery strike there.
Yeah. There is a very naughty Lotus here, which causes Wraith quite a few problems. But tank
So
is.
is Rengo 100 yet? He isn't, right?
No, Rengo's on his CC. He is running out of money gradually, especially because he doesn't take this oil forever. So it becomes a bit of a dicey one.
I do like the Helix team mixed in right now. Only seeing scopes from the GLA.
Yeah.
Would be even better if he used it, I think.
Well, I think that's kind of meta when the GLA against tank is starting to make a few scorps. You need to sort of preempt a Helix transition and probably start mixing quads in blind, even though you don't see the licks.
Yeah.
So you don't just.
I mean, it makes sense. You want GLA to build some quads, right?
Yep, totally. But there just has been a chronic lack of counter-attacking here.
Yeah, I was thinking even right now, there's still only this one Gatling, right?
Yeah.
So he should be sending some scopes, I think.
Plus, if GLA gets
clear
level...
the way, bring a worker.
Yeah. And if GLA gets level 3, it becomes so much better. So much better.
Right, I agree. You can even take some sort of bad trades right now just to get to level 3. Because getting the cash bounty will make up for it.
Yep, definitely. I think Rengo's using a bit of experience here. He doesn't want to just engage and throw the game. But, I mean, look at this.
Well, the problem is sometimes playing so passive might end up losing you the game, though, against GLA.
As tank here, what would you actually try and do? Because there's only 2 crates worth left here, and there's actually not much money left there as well. I mean,
definitely start by taking the oil.
Yeah, start by taking the oil.
Seems like a good stuff.
Probably not this though. A moving.
I'm not sure about the frenzy either.
No. A moving into a fully loaded building. This is where, when I was watching this, I actually think Wraith had a chance to win because he just zeroed a massive chunk of that army. He's got level 4 now as well. I don't think he's dropped his CC down yet though. MiGs do come in. I think they should have hit that bunker first.
Yeah. I feel like you either save them at this point and wait for the battle bus to pop and use it on the battle bus, or you clear the bunker first. I don't think the order he made it in, or he did it in, made a lot of sense.
No. But now suddenly look, there's not that much tank army left after that. The Lotus is causing Wraith horrific problems though, keeps resetting the arms dealer. Hottest Chili in chat says, Xscal, how do you prepare for a big challenge? I mean, not a massive secret. It's watch some replays, think about what maps you want to pick, and play a few to make sure that you are warmed up and on top of your macro, micro, stuff like that. That's all. Rosa says, this reminds me of my Super Weapon versus Demo game. Must have been a long one, yeah. A war of attrition. So what we do see now, if I remember this correctly, we see Rengo dancing around with the Lotus and gradually picking off tunnels with Migs. That occurs for quite some time, so we'll fast forward a bit here.
He's doing a good job with the Lotus.
Yeah.
But still, I feel like as GLA, you want to look for opportunities to expand. I mean, not just take resources, but also increase the size of your base and in the top left, like throughout the game.
There are mines there now, but yeah, I mean, he's had 14 minutes to do some attacking through here. Bus goes on a bit of a sneaky counter-attack. Oh look,
Oh no.
the one hacker into the internet centre.
Oh no.
Thought you'd enjoy that. So, 2, 3
I'm not sure why he got the frenzy.
No.
I think in these low cash situations, like, the cash hack can actually be nice.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it is if GLA is floating 1k, which happens a lot, it is kind of a 2k swing, right? Like, you steal 1k, you get 1k.
I know you're very against hackers, but you see this quite a lot. People will make the internet center and literally have like 2 hackers in it. I mean, at
More
least
power to them.
at least start off with just 2 or 3 maybe, without the internet center. Wraith's got the one
Rengo, I'm
market.
disappointed.
Yeah. Trying to do a sneaky snipe on the Emperor and get a worker in there. He has now finally got the oil. And actually, this is something I think Wraith should have been desperate to kill as well, because he didn't know Tank didn't have this. And I think somehow you've got to try and get like a TT over there and just get rid of it.
Uh-huh.
But he...
I agree.
Yeah. Both players just left it for a long, long time. A few more hackers being made. MiG hits and some mines.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the mines here either. Like, they get detected by the tunnel, so I feel like they're not exactly achieving a whole
You'd
lot.
be better off putting them like here or here to stop
Right.
the GLA, or maybe.
And I mean, if you put them in front of the tunnels, you might as well attack the tunnel, right? Since he can't pop at that
Yeah,
time.
true. This was another moment where I thought Wraith could win the game, and I was just thinking to myself, go and kill the oil, but he's like killing an empty supply here. Sure, it gives him the cash bounty, but... Or even kill that, you know, for the cash bounty, just...
Also needed to spread out a little bit, knowing that there are 4 mix around.
Yeah. Dragan says, hello Logica, by the way. Can you cast some Facey games? Facey actually did send a couple of replays, so we have got a few of those. As I say, I'm only going to be doing this for about an hour, so we'll see how many replays we get through, because I'm going to reset the stream with a stream delay and cast the 2v2 challenge, which is in 1 hour 10 minutes now, actually.
Oh, wait, it's level 5.
I mean, level 5 is massive, but like, why like fight there with your bus? Go and kill all that and kill this. Even the quad's AFK. Oh dear. AQA says most useless unit in ZH and favourite one that doesn't get used often. Most useless? Probably the sentry drone, I guess. Favourite that doesn't get used often? I mean, Spalding's would probably be the Tomahawk, right?
Exactly.
For me?
I think Vanilla GLA Hide Checker might be one of the most useless ones as well. I can't remember the last time I've seen one of those.
That's true.
They cost a gen point even, don't they?
Yeah, they do, yeah. I think so. I guess Paladin is quite fun. Doesn't get used much. And
Right.
sometimes use it in a GLA versus USA game. The Hacker Center is building up.
Soon gonna pay up.
Otters Chili says, what has your opponents do better to beat you? I think that's what have your opponents got to do better to beat you. That question I'm not answering.
Ooh, that was not the best pop there.
I think it's a dicey pop when you know there's 4 MiGs flying around. I'm just
Yep.
curious. Yeah, he does have radar band scan. Because with Sneak and Anthrax,
Did he
you
not?
can
Did he not
get-
pick the Anthrax or did I miss it?
No, it's here.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah. So he does wreck the MiGs. But he sneaks here. And gets wrecked by a mine drop. I mean, again, if you're going to sneak, don't do it, I would say, too near the CC, because you could get owned by China General Power. I would still be sneaking up here, to be honest.
Right, he needs to get rid
that.
of the oil.
Yeah. So I'll fast forward a bit, because this slow... Oh, he's given up. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, I think if you reach level 5 with GLA, you should be in a decent spot to actually win the game outright. So, yeah. Okay, so I've just named all these replays as Review 1, Review 2, Review 3, etc. So we'll just...
Alright.
We'll just jump in here, and when I get into the replay, hopefully I remember who sent it in. Yeah, so this is a Facey replay against Staz. So he is Tox and Staz is Nuke, so a bit of a classic matchup there.
Okay.
Do you want to watch it from Facey's point of view?
Sure. Since
Yeah.
he's the one who sent it in.
I will work.
Firearm says me, my replay next. I'm sure your replay is one of them. Whether we get through the 16 I've got saved before the
Work is complete.
the 2v2 match is another question, though.
Building construction has been completed. I will work.
Here's a good question, Spalding, by the way,
Upgrade.
from Callum. What do you think other experts do better than the majority of the other players? Is it build order, tactics, micro? So, yeah. The so-called
I think
top
it's a
8.
bit of everything.
Bit of everything.
Yeah, I would say so. I also noticed like a lot of semis panic a lot when under pressure
Mm-hmm.
and start floating a lot of money. Say there's like a Humvee in their base and they
True.
chase it with all of their units and suddenly they look at their money and they're floating 3k.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's a very common mistake.
Building construction.
Ali says, who's your favourite opponent? Probably Size, I would say. And have some epic sets against Size.
I will work.
El Clasica.
Classic.
Our work is complete. A lot of work. I will work. I will work.
So we've seen a truck rush from Staz here, but hang on a minute. Facey didn't get the technical upgrade there. If I looked at that correctly, I think you have to get it in this matchup, no?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's just too many games decided before you get to level 3.
Yep. Yeah.
Warrior has fallen.
I'm just gonna
What I
pause
don't
that as
like
well.
is the tunnel placement overall of Phasey. I feel like the oils are very important on this map. So
Mhm.
I think I would like to have one tunnel there. Yeah, for example, on next to that building at
I
least.
mean, if you have it there, you can take that bunker as well, which is pretty decent
Right.
against Nuke.
And that alone almost like seals off the left side of the map in the early game, I think.
He did try and get a tunnel here, but the truck and then the Battlemaster denied it. Something I noticed as well, and you see this, and this is just to answer Callum's question, like, what's the difference? You will see hesitation a lot, I think, from players outside the top 8. So even here, he, like, rather than literally just driving to the trucks, because that Battlemaster was there, he literally clicked over here, and then he was like, actually, no, I need to go over here. So it was just, like, hesitation. And Marauder, ooh, interesting. I know you're not a fan of Marauder, are you?
I think they sort of rely on your opponent being bad at scrap denying and wasting. So I think they become worse the better your opponents are.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
And
I also think you should just by default assume there are mines around supplies. Like,
Yeah.
not most of the time it just doesn't hurt you at all to evac from a little bit farther away, fire
True.
your RPGs first, and
the
then
I mean, the one time you're under pressure is when there's actually Battlemasters nearby, but he literally had time to just unload and check if there were mines. And I do think when you've lost a bit of map control and done no damage on the nuke, you are in a bit of a pickle before you've even like got 2 minutes into the game. We're literally 2 minutes 25 into the game.
Our
Right.
work is complete. That was a lot of work.
Frank says, when do I play the final against Size? We actually haven't organised it yet. Firearm says, who is better, Prime Rage or Prime Size? I mean, I was away during a big chunk of their interaction with each other, so I probably can't answer that, actually. I wasn't playing.
A warrior is
And Hottest Chili says, when you think of 2005 to 2009, would you think Blind was the #1 ranked player? Maybe for a short period of that time, but certainly not all of it. There was certainly, I think, a time there when Dackle was the #1. I think there was a time there when I was #1 as well. 2000 and... hard to remember, 2005. Omnirai was #1, I think, at one point as well. A guy called Avanus.
I will work.
Upgrade complete.
did Phasey see a Helix or something?
Have a look.
Like, he's been building an awful lot of quads, and I don't know why.
Well,
There's
Yeah,
one now.
there is one
but
now, yeah.
He built them really early,
I will work.
Well, he had...
including the stinger,
Yeah,
including a stinger site at his unsafe.
right. Don't know if he scouted that, to be honest. Keeping my eye on chat as well.
Yeah, so did I.
But it's one of those, I mean, we were saying this in the previous game, in a, well, not just a tank GLA, but in a Tox nuke, you can anticipate some sort of transition from the nuke, whether it is licks or whether it is a propaganda, so it's... I think I would start making quads as well at one point, depending on if you're not seeing any more units.
Just seemed a bit early at the time.
Question come in, what do you do as Tox when you lose all the map control like this? I mean, there is one obvious point. Hunt the dozers and sit in your little corner.
Sure, but I also think he didn't do a good job of continuously sending out workers to try to re-establish some map control.
That's something Size is amazing at. He's always sending workers out, isn't he? Continuously.
I mean, worst case, you get a cheap scout for 200.
Yep.
Sometimes just knowing where the attack is coming from can be pretty important as well. And I think, yeah, that kind of
mean,
goes back to
even
what I said
here-
at the beginning. Like, getting a tunnel up near that building on the left side, I think
Yeah.
is pretty good.
Would have been helpful.
Because how does Nuke really get rid of them?
He just drove really close to 2 buildings again, though.
Mhm.
I mean, I know he was going for a TT, but it is a bit like just praying your opponent doesn't have mines there.
Right.
How to
Just
lock
now he was
camera-
also floating quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like he just threw down his stinger side and he's still at 2.5k.
Ali says how to lock camera on units. We're just spectating from Facey's point of view. I think this is a gentle feature, isn't it, that does this?
Mhm.
Of course.
I think you pressed S or something to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
lock onto him.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm also not a fan of like multiple Marauders. I feel like the point of Marauders is to get one scrapped,
Mm-hmm.
not like 2 halfway scrapped.
I mean, when you get, if you get that double-barreled Marauder, of course you're feeling very good, but like you say, you're relying on your opponent to make a mistake with Marauders. That's the thing.
Yeah, and how realistic is it to get like multiple scrapped ones?
Yeah. I mean, would you really get a a scrap 2 Marauder against a Boyka or, you know, Size? Well, Size you probably would actually, because he does scrap deny. But you might have already lost the game before you got that double scrap Marauder.
Sure. Well, I feel like Marauders can make sense if you combine it, for example, with a fast palace, thinking you save the 1k from the Scorpion rocket upgrade and invest it into a quicker palace. I remember people sometimes used to do that back then.
Yeah.
Then just get quick buses, Dozer hunt the nuke and go from there. Or if you, for example, go for a quick oil capture and, yeah, once again, invest the 1k you save from the rocket upgrade into a quicker oil capture. I think it could make sense, but just in general, going Marauders, I'm not a big fan of.
I think in this matchup, and you said this at the start, but you've got to commit to either securing the right side middle supplies or the oil,
Yeah,
and we've seen neither of it.
yeah. I mean, you start with 2 supplies, but you want to think ahead of like
Yeah.
how you're going to increase your economy. It's either going to be the right side or the left side.
Mm-hmm. I mean, let's have a look at Facey. There is a 50% palace, and Staz is on quite a few overlords. I mean, Staz could literally walk across the map now and just win the game, actually. Facey says, should he try to get the oils or kill the oils in this position? I think kill them, because there's no way you can hold this army, right? Can't beat
Right.
that army with what you've got, so you've just got to kill them and try and make the game wonky. A lot of TTs. Is this one for the army though, to do a bit of a Boyka special?
A warrior has fallen.
Yeah, it seems like something he might have to do at this point.
Deadly Phoenix says 1 Marauder can kill 1 Scorp with the rocket upgrade easily, even unscrapped. They are better value for money than Scorps. Disagree, because I would rather have the Vet 1 tech veterancy. Plus, they take longer to build, I think, and as we've already outlined, you, at least against China, you're relying on them not to scrap deny. Just not a fan of Marauders in general.
Yeah, also Scorps are better against Dragon tanks, and that's usually what China has to build to clear any buildings to stop you from controlling the map.
And I will come back to this question from earlier about what separates the top 8 from the others, and you know, like a Boyka or a Logica first tech can sometimes just win the game against a semis nuke, just because it's killed a load of trucks, hunted a dozer, vetted up and got 2 double scraps, and by then it could already be over just on the first tech.
A lot of indecisiveness here as well by Facey. Like he walked across the map with his whole army, now he's in the middle, now he is... I don't know what he's doing, but you don't want to fight these overlords with just your quads.
Nope. I mean, if anything, at least kick Staz off this supply, keep sniping this Overlord army,
Right.
and try and expand elsewhere. But yeah, he's just slowly getting squeezed out by Staz here, isn't he? Someone says, can I disable MDS? How do I do that?
It's the fourth one from the bottom, where it says MDS, Replay Observer.
Just that, okay. Done.
A warrior has fallen.
We are checking for map hack as well here, you know, Firearm. This is not just a replay review. He is now kicking Staz off that supply, but a little bit little too late, isn't it? He's losing his main base.
Yep.
A warrior has fallen.
Also, he had a palace at one point, and I didn't see a single battle bus, which is a bit strange. I feel like they're always pretty good.
Ooh, we got the licks though.
So that's fun.
Facey says, so to summarise, any advice what to do when you're behind as Tox versus Nuke beside killing dozers or trucks? It's hard to kill trucks because he has a lot of units. I think counter-attacking and being a bit cockroachy the best you can, like expand into the middle when you had that army and it was sort of spinning around in the middle of the map, maybe go for a bit of a counter-attack. And while you're doing that, you can be sniping these OVs, rallying terrorists, and maybe the nuke's not going to pay attention because he's having to look elsewhere. But, you know, fighting these overlords with the army you had, which was like a few quads and a marauders, they're never gonna work.
And you usually messed up somewhere along the line if you
Yes.
have no map control as Toxin versus Nuke.
Yeah, you probably want to look at your early game to not get in that position where you have no map control against Nuke and you've done no damage whatsoever. I mean, that's two pretty major issues, isn't it?
Right.
But I think we can probably tap out of
This
this
one's
game.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will delete this, and I think the next few I've got are Facey as well, like R2, R3. So what I'll do is I'll jump a replay. I'll go to R10 because I don't think we're going to get through all these replays before the cast. So let's go into this one. Let's have a look at this. Sam versus Night Blue. So I reckon this is Sam that sent this in. So
Okay,
this
let
is...
me get a drink, be right back.
Okay, sure. GLA versus GLA, your favourite. Well, I'm going to get a drink as well then, if you are. Be right back. Alrighty.
Alright.
Let me see if we're up to date in chat. We've done the MDS. Scuba asked for a 2v2 clan war. I think we're good. Okay. Let's have a look at this then. Well, the first thing to say about GLA Mirror is, as Sam's doing his opening build here, is that there are many build order openings you can do. So I think learning a few is a good idea. And if you're wondering what are they, then, well, there is TT on the opponent's arms dealer or second supply. There is a fast 3 supply build. There's oil grab build. There's, probably not for this map, but there is 2 supplies, 2 arms dealer build. So there's a lot of different builds you can do in a GLA Mirror. So I'm going to be looking for one of those as Sam does his opening here. So he's actually going for...
Our work is complete.
Is he going for 3 or 2 supplies? Going for 2 supplies. Okay, no, 3 supplies. He has got the 3 supply build going.
A warrior
Okay.
has fallen.
Good box there.
I think this is an okay build for this map. I mean, we don't know what the opponent's doing just yet, but
I am finished with the building.
looks like a solid build.
I know it's a small thing, but I think like 2 RPGs in both buildings might be a bit of an overkill. Maybe spread out those RPGs into like multiple buildings. Okay, now he's doing it.
Yeah, because you could just die straight to a TT and a tech RPG follow-up. Yeah, is my worry.
Yep.
Let's see if that happens. A lot of techs being rallied. The map. Ooh, well, that's a good start there. No box from blue. Sam's not paying attention at home. What has happened here? Ooh, lost
Bit
his
unusual
workers.
to get such a fast quad, I think.
Yeah, you normally spam quite a few techs in this matchup before you get that.
And I was also thinking, like, when you're on 3 supplies, well, he's kind of on 2 supplies because he lost the mining from the 3rd supply, and you crush workers in your opponent's main base, you're miles ahead, so I think you should be thinking, how can I lose the game? And I think what your opponent needs to do to stay in the game is probably capture the oil. So I would have liked to see Sam check the oil.
Yeah. Well, we have
Probably get
seen...
a
I mean, I listed a few of the potential builds. We've actually seen 2 of them here. So we've seen the oil grab build and we've seen the 3 supply build. But as you say, when you've had such a good start, you do want to check these, because denying one of those and you've basically won already.
Right.
I don't know if Night Blue will watch this stream as well, but I think you've got to at least try and box 1 supply, or at least half box it. I don't think there's any need to just have a completely open main supply there. And I also think there should be a tunnel here, because then you can get this
Right.
building. Daniel says the tunnel on the right side's way too far forward. Yeah, I mean, arguably he could have gone here and then sent something to check there. Did he need to have it here when he's actually doing a more defensive build? Probably not. Ah, and this is the Tech RPG blob. Oh,
Okay.
and that's a little bit... I think that's a bit unforgivable
Could leave
as well.
a few units maybe behind to finish that one off.
Just leave, yeah, anything to start gunning that oil down.
Oh, and I don't like the engagement he's
No.
taking here.
This is out.
He should be staying
yeah.
back at his tunnel. Like this can definitely be game losing. Like he's not protecting anything by fighting where he's fighting.
No. I think that's what you said earlier, like semis can panic, and I think he panicked.
Yep.
This attack in his base, just randomly threw 2 quads to their death, didn't finish the oil.
Right. And I
I
mean,
mean-
a better GLA player might just like scrap up his technicals then
Yeah,
after
yeah.
you waste these quads in.
I mean,
just
blue is
spam that.
wasting as well. Blue is wasting. Ooh. Yeah.
And also, once your fake arms dealer gets cancelled, I think he was a little bit late. I think now he threw down his other arms dealer somewhere. Yeah,
The Walker's doing a sponsored
that's
walk
kind of what
to
I
get
was.
to it,
Yeah,
though.
exactly what I was talking about before. Like how they panic once there's something happening in their base.
Well, this 3rd supply has been wrecked most of the game. I know blue literally lost all his workers, and blue's literally only mining from 2 workers on each supply, but he does have
Yep.
the 2 oil.
I think it's a bit rude to say pathetic game. I mean, these guys might have just started playing or something.
Yeah, and we are looking at a range of levels in these replays. You're going to be getting semis, you're going to be getting some pros. So we're looking at a range of levels here.
Like the guy sent it in saying it's the best replay ever.
Yeah, and to be fair, you know, these players are sending the replays in so that we can point out things that are going wrong. You know, they're not sending
Right.
in their best performance.
It's quite discouraging if someone just says pathetic game.
Yeah.
Whatever. I do like the supply Sam took at least on the right side.
Yeah. Blue, though, that lack of workers
Yeah, that's
really hurting him.
really hurting him.
Ted asks a very good question here. Since GLA is blind as a bat, let's forget about waypoint scouting. Which build order is the most safe in GLA mirrors? I think it depends on the map a bit, doesn't it?
I would say so.
I mean, someone like, let's take Size for an example, who has a really good record in GLA mirrors. His build is very often to supply fast aura grab, and he will have a quite high success rate with that. Sure, he will mix it up from time to time, but I think that's a pretty safe build. And that's a little bit what Blue tried to do here, without the boxing. I actually like the way Blue attacked somewhere else when, you know, there was actually nothing to deny here. He's now kicked Sam off this supply, and he's now down here as well. Quite nice. But Sam did hold that.
Yeah, Sam really needs to find a way to get rid of the oils.
I say this to Wraith quite a bit as well. Like, when you've got a position, a really important strategic position, please drop down more than one tunnel. Like, there was one tunnel here, there was one tunnel there. When you can afford it, if you add like a couple, it makes it so much more difficult to engage into.
I'm also not sure if either player dropped the CC yet. They're both level 3.
Didn't notice it.
It doesn't look like either one of them is getting cash bounty.
That's a negative. It's a negative.
So that's also something you want to do. Just
Yeah.
start the CC, cancel the scaffold, and get the cash bounty.
Leb says, does the worker move faster when you use clear the mines on him? No, but it does move smoothly through the CC, so it can move
And
through
it
the
looks
CC
nice.
slightly faster, and it looks nice. Yeah. Okay, Sam actually won that. So Sam got the win there, but could have been a chill win, not a sweat, basically.
Alright.
Yeah. Delete that. Logica keeps saying review me versus review one game me versus you, please. Where are they? That's a Logica Nuke Tox. I think this is super old, this. But let's do it then. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. So I am the Toxin. Logica is the Nuke. So we've got a couple of semis here in this replay.
Yep. Was
Logica.
that the pre-clear the mine area?
I think this was the.
Or era?
I think this was the pre-clear the mines era. Yeah. Cyril says, I see you sometimes on Game Ranger. Do you play random players sometimes? I will do what I like to call late night DEFCON games. I think I get faked on Game Ranger as well, so there might be someone on my account and it's not me. So just be aware of that as well. I think I'm about to get Goatsy to buy a truck here by the look of it. literally take a note and rally terrorists to your supplies. Well, that's a rough start for me there.
Typical OE GLA play.
Yeah. Interesting one from Logico. He's got his mines here, supply there, and a barracks on the left as well.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting that he builds the barracks before he builds his third supply.
I didn't call you DEFCON player randoms. I said random DEFCONs, as in like different DEFCON for fun games, late night. I seem to be struggling with this tech here.
You might be able to kill 2 trucks here. Oh,
No.
or no trucks.
And meanwhile, I've got no workers.
You don't have a lot of things going for you.
No.
Do you have a technical?
I don't have anything. Oh, I do have one tech.
You do have one.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have liked to see you try to get the scraps there. Maybe that could have been one game.
That could have been a turnaround. Doesn't drive into the mines at least.
Yeah. And I mean, it's nice to see that even under pressure, like, you're looking for ways to counterattack, knowing that you can't just sit back right now.
I literally have no money though.
Yeah. I mean,
Slight issue.
can't really see you winning that one, but
Nope. Getting his one worker back. I think I had to sell this. Hana says, is it Excal playing or Fargo? It doesn't look a bit Fargo-esque here, what's going on. But yeah, I am literally trying to get any damage done possible here to try and give myself a chance, but I'm in dire straits here. Dire straits. And it kind of escalated, right? You miss a truck, it runs over 5 workers, the Battlemaster then gets in on your other supply, the first tech did nothing. You can almost say it's GG. I mean,
yeah.
we saw a little bit of that from Facey, right? Although Facey didn't take economical damage, the truck denied his map vision. The first tech did nothing, and then all of a sudden you're in a really bad spot against Nuke. So there we are. That is Logica goat seeing Excal there. We'll go back to the replay review. Dragan says, why am I casting my own game? That was a request. Right, let's have a look at this. Oh, Big Sam's back. And Big Sam is playing the annoying bot in a GLA versus Laser.
Let's get to work.
What do you think about this matchup on this map? Which side would you prefer to be?
Any more projects?
I think it's USA favoured actually, because of the fact that you can be on equal supplies. So I don't think the USA is under pressure as much to do that timing attack with the Vs.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on maps where there's 3 supplies or more, I think you are under pressure to try and kill the GLA before they get too big.
Need a delivery, Joe?
Right.
Deadly Phoenix says, how do you stop the Battlemasters? Yeah, I mean, you need to do a lot more than I was doing that game. So taking buildings, you will see some pros drop off RPGs one at a time in a technical to basically take down the first Battlemaster and hopefully get a scrap as well if your opponent doesn't scrap deny. You can guard mode some RPGs as well, just, yeah, just not what I did there basically. So a pretty meta opening from Big Sam here. The 2 supply, the box, trying to deny sneaky tunnels.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Got my missile launcher right here. Got my
Fast Start Air says, what's the purpose of this stream? Give advice or cast replays for entertainment?
missile launcher right here.
If it's give advice, I'm puzzled why pro and expert games are here.
Right here.
Well, you're saying that like pros and experts don't make any mistakes.
Got my missile
Well,
launcher
the previous game, as I say, was a request.
That one was mostly
yeah.
for entertainment, I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah. But the rest are ones that I've been sent in, so I've renamed them, so I've actually forgotten who sent them in. But I know that Sam sent me some, and this is the second game we're looking at of Sam's. And we're trying to point out things that went wrong. So far so good for Sam here though. He's not taking any economical damage, he's getting his V count up.
Yep.
Puya says who is playing the upcoming 2v2 challenge. It's DK Crazy and DK Ammo against Google and Humanity. And that's going to be in 30 minutes. So we'll do 1 or 2 more replays here. I'll actually close the stream, reboot it with a stream delay, and we can get into that 2v2 challenge. So just keep your eye out on my channel, because it's only fair for the players to have a delay. So Big Sam's actually doing that move out I was talking about. He's doing that V push out.
Yeah, this looks really solid so far, I would
Yeah.
say, by Big Sam.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good micro as well. Didn't lose anything there.
And he's not even floating behind it, so...
No. He's made the fire base. I'd get the dozer back in the box, but that's just me. Ooh, that's... Yeah, that's a bit dicey.
I also don't like him stopping there so long. Like,
No.
Just go straight to the arm steal, I would say.
Mm-hmm. I think he's actually microing his Vs very well in these engagements, but I agree, like, it was super risky driving past that bunker and staying there for so long.
Alright. Can you scroll up a bit, like, if there's... Okay. Alright.
He's on the 2 arms dealer and he's trying to get the palace. But already Sam's taken like so many good engagements. Still picking off techs here.
Yep. I mean... It looks pretty good.
Is he about to get surrounded though?
Looks like he does.
Still clears it all up though.
Don't like standing next to the tunnel though.
No. 2 Vs went down for that. Yeah, so he's actually not got enough to maybe finish off Blue here. And Blue has got the palace, but he's got a massive army at home. Should probably start getting that across the map.
Mm-hmm. Also has enough money for a strategy center for a while.
Tala says, Excal, I reviewed your GLA gameplay for an hour. Wow. You know what I noticed? It is not one tech that you make, it's a series of technicals. Players usually make one. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends on the matchup. Like we just said, GLA, Mirror, you're supposed to make quite a few. Obviously, GLA, USA, you're spamming them. And against China, if you can get a couple out, I think you can do a lot of damage, but you got to make sure your opponent's not going Helix, because then it's just an auto loss.
Yeah, I think he should be just driving in between these arms.
Like, just get on top of the production, yeah.
Right. Very easy to then pick off single technicals.
I mean, I don't see him losing this, despite that. You know, despite the little bit of the indecision here. I don't really see how Blue's going to come back here. Even throwing down his CC is level 3 as well. I mean, Sam, he sent this in for review. I mean, I think people know they're not just sending these in to show wins. I think against a better player, driving through here could have lost him the game. Like, a better player would have surrounded him at that moment there, when he was near that bunker, and I think he could have just died there. He may then argue and say, well, where was I supposed to go through when the GLA's got the whole map like this? But I'm assuming there's like one RPG there and no tunnels, so you could maybe just gun that down and then go through here. Or just walk through here, maybe.
Cool. Also, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing him check the oil at some point. Like, if you were still in the game against me when I'm USA there, I would assume you like have the oils or something.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would you still be in that game?
Yeah. Yeah, neither player really had any vision on the oil at any point. Which I think is, on a limited supply map, is definitely something you need to try and be aware of.
Oh, someone said bot sent this one. Deadly Phoenix said that.
Ah, what did he do wrong then? Well, basically it was a catalogue of bad engagements with the technicals, wasn't it? His map presence was pretty good. But he was chasing the Vs and taking so many bad engagements. I think if you just line them up in one big line and then try and kill the Vs, I think that is the way you want to go. And also, you want to be a bit more effective with your tech RPG in the early game. I didn't see the USA taking much damage at all, really, throughout that.
Right. Could have also maybe tried to take the oil on that map. That could be one advantage I think GLA has. Trying to take the oil.
Yeah. So this is Spell against HSN. I think Spell sent this in, because I had these replays sent to me a while back, but I guess we can look at it from both points of view and see what's going wrong and just point out little things from both players. I think Spell's supply placements are a little bit far. Did you say so?
They do seem a bit far away. Yeah.
And HSN is not boxing.
That is true.
I would like a box, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely saves you some losses.
Yeah. But this is actually nice from Spell. He's got away with 3 supplies. And I don't know if HSN realises with that drone, he might not realise that there's a 3rd supply here. I think Spell could be dropping his 2nd arms dealer as a fake already when you're on 3 supplies like this.
Yeah, he should be.
Like, now his money's starting to build up. I think this is good on this map as well. Like, that is a very annoying area to deal with. Oh,
yeah,
he actually dropped that off there. Ooh, I think that's a massive mistake, actually. Okay, he was trying to TT the power, but like,
I would have liked to see him maybe drop like one RPG next to a building where he's building a tunnel. Like wherever he wants to build a tunnel, just put one RPG in.
Yeah. And still no second arms dealer.
His second arms dealer is super late, yeah.
That is the major mistake so far. HSN hasn't taken any damage. And actually it's getting pretty scary, right? If HSN gets a ambulance here, the amount of Vs that are out could get dicey.
Okay,
And
he
this-
just spent a bunch of money. Did he now get his second arms dealer? or-
He's gone for a
Oh.
palace. And a big tech RPG attack in the main base. Let's see how HSN deals with this.
Yeah, I think he should have at least waited for HSN to move out a little bit. Like,
And then
just
go
thinking
in.
about it, you should not be able to kill your opponent when he's on 2 supplies and you started with 3 supplies.
Mhm.
He's the one who has to attack into you, right?
Yeah. He did reset the V count a little bit, but I would still be pretty scared. The fact that you've not really damaged the USA's economy at all, and not having that second arms dealer. He's even getting a 4th supply here. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think you need to be ahead 2 supplies.
I liked HSN taking this, and this is what I would have liked Spell to take with the first tech. Like, I think if you get that position and just try and make a tunnel there, I think it can be very annoying to deal with.
I mean, I'm really greedy myself when it comes to playing, but there's really no reason to get a 4th supply when you see your opponent is just on 2 supplies and no oil.
And he's getting the oil. Is he going to throw techs away here? Okay, 1 tech for 1 V. I guess you'd take that.
So how many arms dealers is he on now?
The
Still
one.
only on 1.
Yeah.
Like, he's on 3 supplies, 1 oil, he was temporarily on 4 supplies.
Yeah. And now a market. Okay, that's fine for the upgrades, but
Yeah, I like the 1 market, but
Yeah.
I definitely would like to see the 1 extra arms dealer.
he's even got... Oh no, okay, I thought that might have been a rebel up here. It's a tunnel that's not been completed, but I think he's going to try and complete that. Oh, that was a Fargo pop. That was a Fargo pop. Is that now going to be the moment where this game turns? Could be the moment. He's getting that tunnel up, which is going to be super annoying, but HSN's got 1, 2, 3... got quite a big V count up, like 8 Vs. 2 of them are vetted. Getting the oil here as well, look.
Greedy spell.
Greedy spell, yeah.
How many
Uh,
tunnels does he have at his 3rd supply?
Getting the 3rd.
Okay.
That's nice. And that all just gets denied. I mean, that advantage spell had, I think, is now reducing pretty quick. Bear in mind, he's against super weapon.
Okay. Where are his buckets, by the way? Oh, here they are.
Here they are. Jarman clearing up some MDs as well. Very nice combination to deal with Vs.
Okay. I mean, you could even argue, given how many supplies he had, he maybe should have been on 3 arms dealers against super weapon and just stay on like 1 black market for the upgrades,
Yeah.
since you don't want to drag out the game too long normally.
HSN's trying to get on top of these buggies, but I think Spell's still fine, right? Still got a big count of buggies, or is this about to get dicey? Yeah, that is his only arms dealer. That is literally his only arms dealer there.
Yeah, he
Although-
risks losing the game with like 10k. Yeah. But I mean, he still cleared everything up.
Yeah. HSN is teching, but literally got no units. I mean, you can afford to rush your palace and be on 2 techs when you have those 3 supplies.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
with the oil refinery and this fourth as well.
And you also want to mix in some quads at this point. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy that USA is allowed to mine here without any Humvees on the map.
Yeah.
Well, he has like 3 or 4 coming now, but that's still not enough to justify being allowed to mine here.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't really need to kill that supply, all you need to do is stop the Chinooks from mining, right?
Yep. Yeah, USA on this map should not be able to mine these at all. Like with this building, which I know is dead, but it's like so hard to actually mine here on Snowy as USA. Like tunnels and just one quad there. And it's so difficult to clear it for USA.
Mm-hmm. I would also like to see Spell try to set up a tech tear. I know now there are snipers out, which makes it a bit harder, but getting rid of the strategy center can definitely be game winning against Super Weapon, I think. And also
Yep.
their reactor is oftentimes upgraded, and getting rid of that can also be really nice.
Very cheap invest for you as GLA to kill that, and it's quite an expensive one for the super weapons, so...
Yeah, the problem with just being on one arms dealer is like you have, yeah, sure, you have like some buggies, but just the USA evacuating the Humvees is gonna push you back because you can't chase into MDs, right?
Nope. He has got the second arms dealer now, but he's spamming a bunch of markets. Like he's setting his own economy up, but I think it's like more important to damage the opponent's economy rather than
Yeah, I agree.
do that. He has got cash bounty, nice and quickly. Scuba says, who's Fargo playing here?
Nice vet 3 Charmin.
Question, how... Hey, why do China dozers clear the mines to move around the beginning of a match? Is it a quicker form of travel? They move through the CC smoothly rather than frustratingly dancing around and taking forever to move through the CC.
Search and destroy.
Yeah, I would say the biggest mistake so far is definitely letting Super Weapon mine from those supplies.
This shouldn't be allowed, and you can even preemptively make a TT to get rid of that oil as well.
Yep.
I mean, if Super Weapon doesn't mine here, and you don't have an oil, even though alphas are scary, I actually think you can outcamp them. But you can't outcamp them if they're on this supply and getting this oil.
Right.
Losing... Is he going to lose 2 markets? Yeah, wow. 2 markets there on the Spectre.
He doesn't have the building armor upgrade, right?
He does not.
Yeah, I feel like at least once you see snipers, you should know that he's level 3 and probably want to get that upgrade at that point. But I really disagree with like spamming a lot of black markets and getting a Scud Storm now.
Yep.
I just feel like powering with 3 arms dealers and not allowing the super weapon to ever collect from the supply is so much easier.
With cash bounty as well, I mean, it's... You want to trade.
Yeah.
Because everything's so pricey for the super weapon. He is trying to deny this. Yeah, there are 3 alphas out. There's a particle, drop zone, and the super weapons on an oil.
I do like the particle cannon. I think it's pretty underrated as super weapon.
Yeah.
Especially when you have 3 supplies.
HSN level 4 though, and these alphas are getting home is the issue. So they're picking units off for free all the time. HSN lacking a bit of power there.
Does he have AP bullets?
He
He
does.
does.
I mean, that's what you want. He picked off 2 alphas there.
Yep.
But the thing is, with the particle and a general power, super weapon can get rid of that Scud, or even with an alpha.
True. Yeah, I feel like the whole market spam thing works a lot better against other USAs. Or at least USA and Laser. Vanilla USA and Laser.
Yeah, I think against any other USA, when there's no alphas, no cheap particles, you are feeling pretty good when you've got the late game GLA composition. Oh, a little misclick there. Massive misclick on the Spectre. Should have killed that oil and somehow misclicked completely.
Mm-hmm.
More Scuds being dropped. Those buggies are living a charmed life in between the alpha hits there. They are pushing in though. Oh, are they going to get sandwiched now? They might get sandwiched. Oh, buggy's killing an alpha. You don't see that every day.
He should be positioning himself.
Oh,
next
wow.
To, I was gonna say next to the reactor, but I guess HSN gets it anyway.
Oh wow, disaster. Absolute disaster as HSN just completely capitulated here.
So I think one thing HSN could have done is throw down 1 or 2 EMP pads.
I agree, like, he's put a firebase, but EMPs are cheaper and probably underused. They're so blooming annoying.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden, I think Spell is looking pretty good. Would still like him to send something to kill that oil, but yeah, killing the drop zone's nice.
Also needs to be aware of like churn abilities and stuff. I didn't fully pay attention to what's ready, but I think you wanna occasionally press X on your quads there.
That's true. But yeah, HSN does not really have anything. I think you're right though. A few
sent it in. Maybe it was HSN.
could have been a couple of.
Because now it seems over.
It does, yeah. A couple of EMPs would have avoided that, and I know Spell was very big, but I think HSN could have avoided those buggies getting in. From HSN's point of view, I think boxing at the start is quite important. You don't want to get hunted. You can definitely lose quite a few games just by getting hunted in that matchup. And make use of EMPs late game. Right, it is 8 minutes until the challenge, so I'm going to have to sign off here, Spalding, and close this stream, and then I'll open another one up with a delay. But we got through an hour and a bit's worth of replay reviews there. It was fun having you joining me to do that.
Yeah. I also think there was no burden by HSN, and it's cheaper for Super Weapon and really good against the buggies.
Yeah,
So
that is very
was
true.
Also one thing missing. Okay, have fun with your stream.
All right,
and bye bye.
I'll catch you soon. Cheers, mate. Bye. Alrighty, guys. So I will sign out here for now. Stay on the channel though, because I will be going live with a stream delay for a 2v2 challenge: DK Crazy versus DK Crazy, DK Ammo versus Google and Humanity. We shall continue the replay review in a future stream, and I shall see you guys shortly.